Hello, welcome to level 5. I'm re-recording this because I felt like I was hopelessly rambling a bit, and maybe I will actually finish my thoughts this time instead of just moving on to the next one aimlessly. This level is kind of based off of episode 2, level 6, like that last area from level 4, and at least in that it uses this purple wall texture, which I don't feel like is used nearly enough in the original Wolfenstein. It's used a couple of times in episode 2 and the secret level of episode 1, and a few other times, but it's pretty cool. I like it. And there's one level later on, I think it's level 32, that uses this, and that's one of the better levels. So that one's also very much inspired by episode 2, level 6. So was not very original in coming up with these things. This is one of those areas at the beginning where you shoot a guard and a bunch of guards come out, and I thought it was interesting to put it at the beginning instead of later on. And that room, those two rooms with the SS behind the well was ripped from, there's a room in episode 2 episode 2 level 5 that has a mutant behind a well like that, and it's a really obscure room, but for some reason always struck me, so I decided to use that. This is where both of the keys are in the level. It's basically the central area, I'd say. It's not huge, but it's kind of a maze. There are points that you can use to navigate. The fact that the entrance is really a straight path, and there are sort of, little indents in it to go to different areas. So I think it's kind of a nice maze, and there are columns blocking a lot of areas that you can't get to, so you sort of have to go around. And I like that I reuse those columns quite a bit, because it makes it feel like more coherent or whatever as a space, even if it doesn't make that much sense, because it's hard to navigate. It's hard to navigate as it is in Wolfenstein. There's so many doors and stuff to go into. Oh my god, those guys shoot so quickly. You really have no idea. Maybe it's because I'm recording. I don't know, but my god, it's really I don't know. If you don't see them coming, they just start shooting you. There can be 8 medkits right there, and you could have 198 ammo in a chain gun. If you do not react quickly enough, you will be dead. There's a secret there. There's blood, and there's columns blocking the key on either side. So I was hoping that people would find it, but it's not actually a key that's required to beat the level. I'm not sure if I put any keys behind secrets that were actually required to beat the level, but this key is kind of a special key that lets you go into the non-secret secret exit, or the secret non-secret exit, whichever you want to call it, where you have to fight a boss, so you don't have to fight a boss. It's arguably not any easier, and you actually get a bonus for beating the secret level that you get sent to if you don't go that way. Which is kind of accidental, but whatever. This is inspired by the key area in episode 2, level 6. This area right here, which you are about to see. And it's very cinematic. A scene that you see several times in Wolfenstein, and kind of a hallmark of Tom Hall, his design in particular. I think he did 42 levels in the original Wolfenstein, so he designed, I counted this at one point. Coincidentally, there are 42 levels in this, in Chemical Warfare, which I did not say at the time, because I didn't want people to know how many levels there were. Wanted it to be a mystery. But yeah, it's one of Tom Hall's sort of hallmarks, and I really liked the way excuse me, I really like the way that he designed. You know, he just had so many ideas, and he wasn't afraid to use them, and, you know, different permutations of them, and, you know, do just lots of crazy, weird things that sort of broke the logic of the game. And I think this mod is really inspired by his maps more than anything else. Definitely a favorite game designer of mine, and you should fund his Kickstarter that just went up online. Even though they're not very specific. It's a old school RPG with Tom Hall and Brenda Brathwaite. Yeah, I loved Anachronox too, even though it was a much different kind of game. I like the purple ceiling in this level. I just want to say that. It was one of the reasons why I really liked this mod called Shabs, I don't know, 2000 by Gary Ragland. It was from like 98 or 99, I don't remember. One of the first Wolfenstein mods to have consecutive levels. There were like 50 levels or something, and you know, it had hex editing and stuff. It's before anyone could figure out how to compile the source code, but he used a lot of weird bright ceiling colors, and I think I react very positively to that. Oh my god, I'm freaking out here. These are some additional areas that just contain treasure and guards and stuff, you know, kind of fleshing out this area. I like the whole area, maze area where you get these two keys is nice for me. I like it. It's not too busy or complicated, but it's still pretty complicated. And, you know, I don't know, I won't say any more about it. Okay, this is where the Ghost Hitler, the only time that you fight Ghost Hitler in this game. There are like a billion Hitlers in this game, but there's only one Ghost Hitler, and he is here. The missile launcher, unfortunately, does not help me. I think it will, but there's a lot of ammo. No health, though. This is the showdown with Ghost Hitler, who, well, you'll see. Yeah, his fireballs move super, super fast. I made them move faster because I was like, I want to make him a more difficult boss. So I think I was obsessed with making changes to random arbitrary changes to numbers in the source code because that's what I knew how to edit. Yeah, I wanted to make him into a more interesting boss, but it's just funny because it's kind of an arbitrary place to fight somebody. But that's really the the lasting appeal of this mod, I'd say, is the just randomness and the unpredictableness of it. There's some sort of like recognizable structure to the levels, and like there's a progression, but it's still like there's a lot of things that subvert that. In particular, in some level, this is one of the levels where there's just some weird side things that kind of subvert the idea of it being this straightforward kind of infiltrate a castle, whatever, which I like. Made it more interesting for me to actually make the levels, because you know, it's just a grid. Got to do something with it. I'm really trying to beat him, but he's really hard. So what happens if you do beat him is that, God, my controls are so badly set up. It's really hard to strafe with how I have the controls set up. It's much more mouse-friendly. So what happens when you beat him is he drops an extra life, like a crown maybe a cross, I don't remember. And he drops an end level trigger, which is like an invisible thing, an invisible object, which once you walk over it, it beats the level. So it just goes straight to level 6, instead of going to the secret level, which you don't want to go to. Although, you know, you get a bonus for going to it, and it's like a secret level in a lot of ways, so it's kind of a cool level, and it would be a shame if you missed it. So, I don't know. Maybe not an idea completely well thought through. I should have at least changed it so you don't get a bonus for going to the secret level. But I didn't. So this part here is the end area, and oh my god, that is painful to watch. Flashing screen border. Yeah. That's the end area, and there are lots of guards sort of wandering around, and you don't know where they're going to be at a particular time. It's one of the advantages, I'd say, of having a bunch of moving guards. One of the advantages this has over Doom, that the guard placement really takes on a much more important role in this game than it does in Doom. And like moving guards in particular create a lot of situations that are kind of unpredictable and hard to deal with. And that's what makes it interesting, and like, you know, because your experience is a little bit different every time. Because the guards are at different places every time. And, you know, the AI is so stupid in Wolfenstein, they just like basically move straight towards you wherever you are. So that means they'll just run into walls and stuff, which means that they'll hide, sort of inadvertently hide in areas, and you won't know where they are, because after they, you know, first announce themselves, especially when there are a lot of guys, you really don't know how many there are or where they are. So it's pretty freaky. And like, even for me playing this as somebody who designed it, it's scary because I don't know where people are coming from. It's pretty cool though, you know. It's one of the cool things about this game, I'd say. Both of those, the doors at the top of the room go back to the first area, and then the doors like right below them both go in sort of a mirrored way. These have these windy passages that go to the exit area where there are a lot of guards wandering around. So there could be guards on the other side that hear you, but you might not run into them until it's too late. It's kind of a neat area to end on because it creates a nice sort of panic and tension. You know, it's another one of those kind of cinematic things where you get your adrenaline up, and I don't know, it's always fun to do. This brick contains the exit. The secret not secret exit, or the not secret secret exit. It's level 38, where you get to fight actual Hitler. Oh, I already spoiled it. Oh, damn. Okay. Well, whatever. Yeah, nice little calm island of brick. Okay. I will see you guys later.